रामानुजदयापात्रं ज्ञानवैराग्यभूषणं श्रीमद्वेङ्कटनाथार्यं वन्दे वेदान्तदेशिकं लक्ष्मीनाथसमारम्भां नाथयामुनमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां यो नित्यमच्युतपदाम्बुजयुग्मरुग्मव्यामोहतस्तदितराणि तृणाय मेने अस्मद्गुरोर्भगवतोऽस्य दयैकसिन्धोः रामानुजस्य चरणौ शरणं प्रपद्ये माता पिता युवतयस्तनया विभूतिः सर्वं यदेव नियमेन मदन्वयानाम् आद्यस्य नः कुलपतेर्वकुलाभिरामं श्रीमत्तदङ्घ्रियुगलं प्रणमामि मूर्ध्ना भूतं सरश्च महदाह्वयभट्टनाथ श्रीभक्तिसारकुलशेखरयोगिवाहान् भक्ताङ्घ्रिरेणुपरकालयतीन्द्रमिश्रान् श्रीमत्पराङ्कुशमुनिं प्रणतोऽस्मि नित्यम् कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकिकोकिलं वाल्मीकिर्मुनिसिंहस्य कवितावनचारिणः शृण्वन् रामकथानादं कुनयाति परां गतिं विदधे पुंसि जाते दशरथात्मजे वेदः प्राचेतसादासि साक्षाद् रामायणात्मना अञ्जनानन्दनं वीरं जानकी शोकनाशनं कपीशमक्षहन्तारं वन्दे लङ्का भयङ्करं मनोजवं मारुततुल्यवेगं जितेन्द्रियं बुद्धिमतां वरिष्ठं वातात्मजं वानरयूतमुख्यं श्रीरामदूतं शिरसा नमामि आञ्जनेयमदिपाटलाननं काञ्चनाद्रिकमनीयविग्रहं पारिजाततरुमूलवासिनं भावयामि पवमाननन्दनं यत्र यत्र रघुनाथकीर्तनं तत्र तत्र कृतमस्तकाञ्जलिं बाष्पवारि परिपूर्णलोचनं मारुतिं नमत राक्षसान्तकम् नमः सरसे नमः सभायै. With the abundant blessings of Paramatma Shriyapati, we have gathered in this very premises to be a part of day 2 in the series of the secrets of Ramayana. Day 1 in the Purva Charitram, we had the Saubhagyam to discuss the importance of Srimad Ramayanam. We did understand that this is one of the greatest assets that we have bequeathed from our Acharyas. In Srimad Ramayanam, we understood one of the Mangala Shlokams, which is Vaidehi Sahitam Suradrumatale Haime Mahamandape Madhye Pushpakamasane Manimaye Virasane Susthitam Agrevachayati Prabhanjanasute Tattvam Munibhyah Param Vyakhyantam Bharadadibhir Parivritam Ramam Bhaje Shyamalam. Subsequent to that, we discussed 3 Rahasyas yesterday. The first Rahasya was her ears that speak. In that, we discussed the Purva Charitram of Valmiki Maharshi, who emerged from the anthill. Interestingly, Tyagaraja Swami makes a mention of it. Karadhrita Sharajala Suramada Paranavani Surasura Panakavina Vinajamauni Krita Charitra Sannuta Shri Tyagara Januta Jagadananda Karaka, while describing the great traits of Rama, Karadhrita Sharajala, the one who has the ability to rain a shower of arrows. Karadhrita Sharajala, Asuramadhapaharana, the one who is able to vanquish the arrogance of the Asuras. Asuramadhapaharana, Kavina Bilaja Mauni. Who is the one who has spoken about the greatness of Rama? Valmiki. Who is he? The poet. Is he another poet? No. Amongst the community of poets, he is the son. Ina means son. Kavina, the son amongst poets. Who is he? Valmiki. Where has Valmiki come from? Valmikam. What is Valmikam? anthill. So he is the Muni who has come from the anthill. Bilaja Mauni. Kavina Bilaja Mauni Krita Charitra Sannuta Shri. Along with the Charitram given by the son among poets who has come from the anthill called Valmiki. Hey Rama, accept that little Charitram that I too experience from this little hamlet called Thiruvayyaru in Tamil Nadu. Kavina Vilaja Mauni Krita Charitra Sannuta Shri Tyagara Januta Jagadanandakaraka. One. Second reference. If you remember yesterday, while we discussed about Valmiki, his relationship with Mata Sita as a brother and sister, I mentioned taking reference to Udhritasi Varahena Krishnena Shatabahuna. That is Varaha lifting Mother Earth. There we saw Adisesha at the bottom, if you remember. So Bhagavan is Adisesha. As Adisesha, he supports Bhumi Devi on his head. Varaha, Bhagavan lifts Bhumi Devi. On the other hand, the same Paramatma as Varaha, later as Adisesha, supports Bhumi Devi on his head. So Adisesha is a snake. Snake, or the community of snakes, the serpent, serpentine, is referred to as Bhogi. Bhogi in Sanskrit means reptile or reptile-like. That is why we say Sura, Nara, Khaga, Go, Bhogi, Gandharva, Daityaihi. So the one who has got the entire creation as his body. Whom do they comprise of? Sura, Devas. So Suras are Devas. Now Sura is beginning a political party also. What, bro? So, Sura, Nara, we are Naras. See, essentially we can come in another category as well. It will come soon. Sura, Nara, Khaga, birds. Go. Go means bovine like, cow like. Bhogi, snake. Gandharva, they are a group of people whom we believe are extremely versatile in music and dance. But in Uttarakandam of Srimad Ramayana, it is believed that there were people who were living on either sides of Sindhu river, currently in the country of Pakistan. So that the Sindh region, where Indus flows, is where Gandharvas live, says Yudhajit to Rama in Uttarakandam. That is why Bharata goes to that region to win over those people who were not very conducive and harmonious with the society, even then. So, he wins over the people with no, don't think if good people are there everywhere. We shouldn't even make on a lighter vein. Some people will take offense to this and they will write one big post on Twitter. So, they are all good people. Now, Bharata went and won over them. Those Gandharva Shabdam, that Gandharva became Gandhara, Kandara, Kandahar. So that is how the derivative comes from there. So, Sura, Nara, Khaga, Go, Bhogi, Gandharva, Daityahi. That is why I said we can also come in the next category. We are not exactly in the Nara category. We may come in the Daitya category as well. One of our greatest speakers of Tamil Nadu, who makes sense every time he speaks, says, Kadavul Padi Murugam Padi Kalandu Seida Kalavainam Bulle Murugam Vediye Kadavul, he says. Most of the time he makes sense. So, this shloka denotes that Bhogi is serpent. So, the first serpent is Abhogi. First serpent is Abhogi. There is a kshetram near Tirunelveli called Kal Idai Kuruchi. In Tamil, Kuruchi means a habitat. Since this place where people reside is nestled between the hills, it is called Kal Idai Kuruchi. Kal Idai Kuruchi. What is it famous for? Appalam. Kal Idai Kuruchi appalams are very famous. Online Amazon also I saw today this talk. So in Kallidai Kurichi, incidentally, there is a temple for Varaha. Muthuswami Dikshita has composed a kriti on this Varaha in the Ragam Abhogi. Because Varaha lifts Bhumi Devi and at the bottom there is Bhogi, right? Snake, Adisesha. Mangalanaya Bhogi Nuta Padam. So there is Adisesha and the Ragam is Abhogi. If you get into the academic acumen of all these Bhagayakaras, it will just leave us baffled. It is beyond our comprehension. Now that said, we discussed about Bhumi Devi. Bhumi Devi's years called Valmikam. From Valmikam comes Valmiki. Valmiki is the son to Bhumi Devi, like how Sita is like the daughter-like person to Bhumi Devi and their relationship. First Rahasya. Second, catch 24. We discussed about the 24 aksharas that make up the mantra called Gayatri mantra. It has 3 pada. Pada means 3 parts. For us, we can take it as pada. The first pada has 8 aksharas, second 8, third 8. 8 into 3, 24. Incidentally, when you extract the first letter of the first verse of every set of 1000 verses, you will have the first letter of verse number 1, verse number 1001, verse number 2001, 3001 till 23,001. Every 24,001, stand up on the bench. Because you should get only 23,001, right? So you will have 24 aksharas. When you arrange them, you get the Surya Gayatri called Tatsa Viturvareniyam Bhargaha Devasya Dhimahi Dhiyo Yona Prachodayat. So you get the entire Surya Gayatri, also generally known as Gayatri, specifically known as Savitri. Now that I said, there will be a subsequent question. If there is no, I will ask that question. During the times of Srimad Ramayanam, did Gayatri exist? Yes, because Vishwamitra Maharishi, who is the mantra drashta for Gayatri mantra, is physically present during Rama's times. One. Second thing, when Rama and Lakshmana go on an internship with Vishwamitra for 6 days, one of the mornings Vishwamitra wakes Rama up. Immediately Rama goes and performs his morning kartavyam, which is Nitya Karma. There Valmiki says Paramam Japam. Ramayana, Valmiki says Rama uttered the greatest Japam, Paramam Japam. So what is that Japam? The commentator Govindaraja says Paramam Japam iti Savitri. So Savitri was uttered. Again another question. All this has been told in Sanskritam. This is Brahminical patriarchy. Has this been told by the Tamil people? Some may ask in some quarters of Gopalapuram. Now, an answer to them is, in the chaste Tamil language, which is a compendium of over 1000 verses in Tamil, written on Kartikeya, Arunagirinatha says, Kalaike Murugi Kunattikiril Adityayana Pagattarpanam Gayatri Jabam Seidu. So Ramayana, Rama uttered Gayatri Mantram has been told in chaste Tamil by Arunagirinatha. So Tamil culture was also cognizant of it. Makes it catch 24. Third Rahasyam, the invincible triad, which is A, U, Ma. Akaram, Ukaram, Makaram. Where is the scene? In the Ramayana, when Rama, Sita and Lakshmana walk, Agrata Prayayo Ramaha. Sita Madhyama. Prishtatastu Dhanushpanihi Lakshmanaha Anujagamaha. A, U, Ma. So Akara, Ukara, Makaram. Was this concept of interspersing A, U, Ma of the Pranava seen in our Acharyas? Yes, let us take the Tamil language. One of the earliest composers called as Swami Nammalvar says, Uyarvara Uyarnala Mudayavan Yavanavan Ayarvarum Amarargal Adhipati Yavanavan Mayarvara Madinalam Arulinan Yavanavan A Uma. Tiruppanalvar says, Amalan Adi Piran. First verse, Uvanda Ullattanai. Third verse, Mandipai. Amalan A. Uvanda U. Mandi Ma. A U Ma. Nammalvar, Tiruppanalvar subscribe to it. Does Tyagaraja agree with it? Yes. Omkara Panjara Kira Purahara Saroja Bhava Keshava. Omkara Panjara Kira. Omkara Panjara. This is a cage in which Rama is housed. So that is the Pranava. Omkara Panjara Kira Purahara Saroja Bhava Keshava. So this is the invincible triad. Whom did they propitiate? Their Kuladhanam called as Jagannatha in Ayodhya, earlier sought by all the kings of Ikshvakukulam, worshipped till Rama in Ayodhya, sought after by Dharmavarma the Raja, the Chola king who wanted this Bhagavan to come to Dakshina Bhagam. Vibhishana brought him. Bhagavan settled in that Pulinam. Pulinam is an islet in Sanskritam. That Pulinam in the Tamil language is called Lanka, Arangam and Turuti. Since Jagannatha settled in Arangam, from then on he was called Ranganatha. And that Ranganatha faces the south. Is this the same Bhagavan who has been worshipped by Rama? Many references from the Ramayanam, Parashara Bhatta's Rangarajastavam, Vedanta Deshika's Prabandham, and Purvacharya Grantham like Muttuswami Dikshita who says Veena Mani, Veena Mani, Bhava Aradhanam. Veena Mani, not the newspaper. Veena Mani means the one who is the gem to the Surya Kulam. Veena Mani Kula, the one who comes in the lineage of Surya. Kula Bhava, the one who is born in that Kulam. Rama. Raghava Aradhanam, the one who has done Aradhanam to that Bhagavan. Fine. There is a subtle point here. Prior to the birth of any child, good child, generally it is maybe a cliche that parents say, ಎಷ್ಟೋ ಒಂದು ದೇವಸ್ಥಾನ ತೀರ್ಥಗಳು ಹೋಗಿ ನೀನು ಹುಟ್ಟಿಲ್ಲ. It can come as a rebuke also. After going to so many temples, you are born. Why are you like this? Or you are like this. मैं ऐसा क्यों हूँ, गाना तो है ना, वैसा ही है ये. So, Dasharatha must have gone to various temples. Sthala Puranam suggests that he went to a kshetram called Tirupullani. If you have been to Rameshwaram, prior to moving to Rameshwaram, there is one of the temples for Bhagavan called Tirupullani. Later in Yuddhakandam, it is this place where Rama chooses to go on a fasting for 3 days, Prayopavesham, to construct the Setu on an existing oceanic ridge. That time, Rama rests on a bed made of kusha grass. So he is still dead called Darbhashayana Rama in that kshetram. It is one of the 108 Divyadeshas. In that temple, Darbhashayana Rama is not the primary deity. The Bhagavan there is called Adi Jagannatha. See, you will call somebody Adi Jagannatha only if there is one Jagannatha. Correct? So if Jagannatha of Ayodhya is Jagannatha, this Devata is called Adi Jagannatha, which means he is said to have come before the Jagannatha of Ayodhya. Dasharatha must have taken a sojourn from Ayodhya till Tirupullani prior to performing the Ashwamedha Yajnam to propitiate this Adi Jagannatha so that he has a good child. Then he must have gone back. When you go to a temple, one of the reasons is the Devata Namaskaram, second is Prasadam. Right? Tirupati, Laddu. Alagar Kovil, Dosa. So see, every kshetram has its, we will do one special session on Prasadams. So this kshetram of Tirupullani is famous for Payasam. So Dasharatha, prior to performing the yajna, left Ayodhya, which housed Jagannatha, came to this kshetram, propitiated Adi Jagannatha, received the Payasam, went back to Ayodhya, performed Putrakameshti, performed Ashwamedham, and as a result of that yajna, what did he receive? Payasam. He came to Tirupullani to Adi Jagannatha and got Payasam, went back to Ayodhya where there was Jagannatha and received Payasam. So this Jagannatha who was earlier worshipped became Ranganatha. So the invincible triad is Akara, Ukara, Makaram that settled for an islet called Srirangam, thereby establishing the relationship between a Vibhavavataram called Sri Ramavataram and Archavataram which is called as Ranganathavataram. Thereby this is the third Rahasya. So this is the Purva Charitram. So, in most serials or OTT series, they will tell you till now what has happened. Correct? We have told. So what is the advantage? Even if you have not come yesterday, you could have followed till now. That is there. Now we are going to be, hopefully by Bhagavad Anugraham, Acharya Anugraham, we will be dealing with 3 Rahasyas today. The first Rahasya for the day, in our list, it is the 4th Rahasya, is the flying guide. Who is our guide now? GPS. Vaikuntaloka Manimantapa Margadayi. Even if the Jivatma exits this Panchabhautika Shariram, it is so accustomed to using GPS that we may need a GPS to go to Sri Vaikuntham as well. So that is the necessity of a guide. A guide stays throughout the journey. Similarly, in Srimad Ramayanam, if there is one Kathapatram, a Patram, that stays throughout the Ramayanam in very essential, required moments, he is the flying guide called Garuda. Garuda is our 4th Rahasya. Who is Garuda? In most temples of Bharatadesham or even abroad, when the temple is based on an Agama Shastram, either be it a Shiva temple, which is based on Shaiva Agama, some select Shakti Devi temples, which is based on Tantra and Shakta Agama, and very many Vishnu temples, which are based on Vaishnava Agama. In Agama, it is a practice to consecrate the temple. You do prana pratishtha to the devata and to the temple. So there are 2 words that you will come across very frequently. One is kumbhabhishekam. Second is samprokshanam. What they do is essentially, prior to the fixed date, 8 to 10 days before the event, many Vaidikas gather and they recite Vedic mantras. Pots of water are kept. Towards the culmination of this event and on the day of the investiture. So they go up to the top of the Gopuram or the Vimanam and they pour the waters. You have seen it? What do they do next? On this article. What do they do? After you pour, what do you see? You look to the sky. Why? Garuda will be there. You will never check if there is a peacock, it is a national bird. Parrot, it is there in the hands of Meenakshi and Andal. Crow, every day we feed rice. Right, so which bird do we look? Garuda. Why? Because there is a Vakyam in the Veda, in the Krishna Yajurveda, which suggests that Garuda is the personification of all Vedic mantras. Vedanta Deshika summarizes this in a beautiful shloka. Netram gayatra muche tridridishiro namadheyam yajumshi Chandam syangani dhishnatma bhirajani shapair vigraho vamadevyam yasya stomatmano saubrihadita targarutadrisham natapuchchaha swachandyam naprasutam shrutishata shikhara abhishtutatma garutman. What this shlokam suggests is the Garuda Pakshi that we view in the Agama Shastra and Sanatana Dharma is depictive of the Vedic quintessence. What does it say? Netram Gayatra Moche. The eyes of Garuda represent Gayatri Mantram. His wings that he flaps every time he flies signifies Samavedam. Do we know this? Yes. In Srimad Bhagavata Mahapurana, you have to remember so many acharyas across all our Bharatiya languages who have contributed to the strengthening of this dharma. Sengalipuram Sri Anantarama Dikshitar, the entire family of Sengalipuram, Balakrishna Shastrigal, my Asmadacharya Karunakarachar Swami, Mukkur Sri Lakshmi Nrisimhacharya, Tupul Lakshmi Nrisimhan, Yambar Vijayaraghavacharya, till date, we have so many Acharyas, Brahma Shri Sundar Kumar Anna, Krishna Premi Anna. In Kannada Bhasha, we have Narayanacharya in the days of the youth, Prabhanjanacharya till date. We had Bannaji Govindacharya Swami. In Telugu Bhasha, we have Samavedam Shanmukha Sharma. We have Chaganti Kotishwar Rao Garu. Sri Bhashyam Appalacharyulu. In Malayala Bhasha, we had great acharyas, Anyam Nambudri, we have Malliyur Tirumeni. All of these acharyas, don't think I've left a few, all of these acharyas, Yandaro Mahanubhavudu. While delineating Bhagavatam, there is a Purana, there is a Katha of Devahuti and Kapilopadesha. Kapila is the son, mother is Devahuti. Mother asks doubts. Don't mothers learn how to operate gadgets from their children? Similarly, Devahuti asked her some philosophical questions. Kapila gives Upadesham. Devahutyai Nyagadihi, says Bhattati. Well, when Kapila was born to Devahuti and his father, who is Kapila's father? Very good. Who said? Excellent. Kardama Prajapati. In Srimad Bhagavatam, Swayambhuvamanu and Shatarupa had 2 sons and 3 daughters. Priyavrata, Uttanapada, Devahuti, Akuti, Prasuti. All this is good, sir, but we can't remember the names. What to do? Many of you will be facing the problem. You may say, sir, everything is very enjoyable, but we don't remember the names. What should we do? Only if you stop listening, you forget. So keep listening. If you keep listening, don't think you've listened to Bhagavatam. 7 days you have to keep listening. See, I agree we have memory issues. We are all not great acharyas. That is why we have to keep listening. In Srimad Bhagavatam, we come across Kardama Prajapati who was propitiating Bhagavan through austerities. Bhagavan comes on Garuda and says, Kardama, I hereby ask you to marry Swayambhuvamanu's daughter Devahuti. Bas, itna hi episode hai. Bhagavan leaves on Garuda. You know what Shuka says? He says, Stoma Mudirna Sama. Then Bhagavan left on Garuda after commanding or suggesting Kardama to marry Devahuti. When he left, Kardama could listen to Samavedam. Why? Because Garuda was flapping his wings. So, Stoma Mudirna Sama. So, our Purvacharyas have believed that Garuda is the very personification of Vedic quintessence. Garudan, Guruvam, Marayin, Purulam, Kannan. Karigiri mel nindru anaithum kakindrane, says Vedanta Deshika. So, true to these words, Garuda is the personification of Vedic mantras. So, what is the greatness, sir? Now, I'll tell you the first place where Garuda's importance comes. When Bhagavan understands that there has to be an avatara on Bhumi, he commands, Vayu, Suno Vayu. Vayu said, Kya sunna? He said, I hereby ask you that you should be born as Hanuman. Marutasya urasa Shriman Hanuman nama vanaraha Vajra samhanano peto Vainateya samojave. Hanuman, you will be born as Hanuman. He doesn't stop there. He says, Vayu, you will be born as Hanuman with the strength of Garuda in you. So that is the first reference to Garuda. It comes in the Upodghatam, the beginning of the Ramayana. 1, 2. Dasharatha agrees to perform the yajna, which is Ashwamedham and Putrakameshti. So when he agrees to perform the yajna, a Vedika is constructed. A Vedika is the Homa Kundam. So this Vedika is constructed. Look at Ramayanam that says, Sachityo Rajasimhasya Sanchitaha Kushalai Dvijaihi Garudo Rukma Paksho Vai Trigunoshta Dashatmakaha. The Vedika that was constructed to perform the Ashwamedha and the Putrakameshti was constructed in the shape of Garuda. But we have never seen such Vedikas. Now see the slides that have given. In one of the slides you will see a collage of various pictures. The first picture at the top has the shape of a Garuda Vedika. Can you see it at the top? That is the Garuda shaped Vedika that was used to conduct the Atiratra Mahayajna 4 years back in Kerala. Below that you see another shape with all the instruments required for the Garuda shaped Vedika kept ready. Right hand side at the top, you see a 2D depiction of how the Garuda shaped Vedika will look. Below that, you see one Garuda shaped Vedika in a dilapidated state. That is 2100 years old preserved Vedika under the Archaeological Survey of India, found in the state of Uttarakhand in a place called Sienachiti. So 2100 years back this yajna was performed and the Vedika is still preserved. The bottommost picture is that of a Garuda shaped seal that is found in the Indus Valley civilization. So Garuda shaped Vedika was very, very popular. Sachityo Rajasimhasya Sanchitaha Kushalaid Vijaihi Garudo Rukuma Paksho Vai Triguno Ashtadashatmakaha. Second place. Third. In Ayodhya Kandam, Rama was told that you will become the king, heir apparent. Rama was okay, fine. He was not extremely, some people get attacked because of this example. Oh, me. Then he went and informed Sita. Sita said, congratulations. Then that night was a very, very painful night to Dasharatha. Because Manthara had come in the afternoon and brainwashed Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi had gone into one Kopa Bhavan. In those days, you had lots of place. To get angry, you had one room. In Mumbai, everything is one room. Here, to get angry, you will have Kopa Bhavanam. If you get angry, you can go to the Kaikeyi was in a very bad state. She was extremely agitated. Then Dasharatha goes and says, Kaikeyi, as always, I've come to your inner apartment, showing so much love that is unadulterated. Listen to what I have to say, Kaikeyi. Please wake up. Who brings you this anger? What makes you angry, Kaikeyi? Get up. A very strategic person that she was, she refused to move. Dasharatha, electoral promises. He said, whatever you ask, I will do. She didn't get up. Whatever you ask, I will do. She didn't get up. Kaikeyi, I promise in the name of Rama that I will do whatever you ask. She got up. Attack. Sorbitrate was not there. So, that is when she sought those two boons. She said, I just have two boons to ask. And these two boons are not new. You had told me that you will give me two boons. Just that I'm asking after a certain time. Dasharatha should have given an expiry date to those two boons. Like Amazon tells you, right, 15 days you have to return. Return policy. Return policy, he didn't give. Very naive he was. She said, with one boon I hereby ask that my son Bharata should become the heir apparent. And Rama's and Sita's husband Rama should be going to the forest for 14 years. He pleaded. Nothing helped. That is when that night was a very painful night. The next morning, she tells Sumantra, go fetch Rama. Rama comes, he peeps to check if his father is still reclining on the bed. Dasharatha couldn't face Rama. He says, Rama, as always, I feel your father has some digestion problem. There's been a lot of gas. Your father wishes to tell me, to you, through me, that it seems Bharata should become the heir apparent of Rama. I don't know what made him take this class to visit. He also suggests that you should go to the forest for 14 years. What is your Rama, please? Immaterial of whether my father says or you say, Mata, if you tell me, go, I will go. மன்னவன் பணியன்றாகிலும் நும்பணி மறுப்பனோ என் பின்னவன் பெற்ற செல்வம் அடியனேன் பெற்றதன்றோ. What? How does it matter, Mata, if Bharata rules or I rule? I'm equally happy. And he went. He told Sita, life is tough. You will have to accept decisions as and when it comes. Life will just be going smooth and fair and suddenly you will have to attend lectures like this. So, I hereby tell you, Sita, world is small. Let's keep meeting again. Let's stay in touch. 14 years is nothing. I'm sure you will have Panchayat season 7. So, I assure you, Sita, directors are going to tell later, Vaidehi Kathirundai. So, I'll miss you. Loads of love, Mua. And Sita says, where are you leaving me? I've been asked to ordain to go to the forest for 14 years. Where are you leaving me? With your mothers? That's a shock. 350 mothers-in-law. I will join. So she joined. Then he goes and tells his mother, Kausalya. Kausalya starts crying. She said, Rama, have I been waiting to see you languish in the forest for so many years? So, as she suggests, Kausalya, Rama says, Mata, life is like this, I have to take it. See, every part of Ramayanam has a lesson for us. Until and unless, or probably if you don't wish to go that deep. If Bhagavan for work has asked you to go to some place, some people will try to their senior officials, don't put me in Bangalore itself, I don't know. Accept life as is. When Sarvalokeshwara walked in the forest for 14 years, he should accept. Ramayanam is for that. See, Ramayanam is very relatable if you want it to be relatable. If you want it to remain a figment of somebody's imagination, then it will remain a fairy tale in the La La land. It is a relatable itihasa. Rama says, this is my karma, I have to leave. Sita says, if it is yours, it is mine as well. So what if you are relinquishing your comfort? So will I. Then they come to Kausalya. And Kausalya says, I too will join. Rama says, Mata, in this rate, if everybody joins, forest will become Ayodhya. Real estate prices will pick up. And Ayodhya will become the forest. Then Lakshmana later says, Bhaiya, Bhabhi, maybe Rama says, so much competition for forest. Then finally, when the three agree to go as a trio, they come back to Dasharatha, they come back to Kaikeyi, and they go to the Antapuram of Kausalya. That time Kausalya says, Rama, when you have made up your mind to go to the forest and you have asked me not to come, I have to respect it. But as a mother, I am very concerned about you, because when you walk in the forest amidst the bushes, plants and leaves that shed virulent poison will touch on you and will cause you allergy, harm. Thereby I give you a ring made of a grass called herb called Santanakarani and Vishalyakarani, which you can wear, and I bless you for your protection with 2 shlokas that was invoked by Vinata when she sent her son Garuda to fetch Amritam. This is the shloka. Yan mangalam suparnasya Vinata akalpayat pura Amrutam prarthayanasya tatte bhavatu mangalam. I bless you, sir. Mangalam anta ಹೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಮಂಗಳಂ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅದು? ಪ್ರಾಚೀನ ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋ ಅಕ್ಷರಗಳನ್ನ ನೋಡಿದ್ರೆ ಎಳ್ಳ ಅಕ್ಷರ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದು ನಮ್ಮ ದಕ್ಷಿಣೀಯ ಭಾಷೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಎಳ್ಳ. ಸಂಸ್ಕೃತದಲ್ಲಿ ಎಳ್ಳ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಅದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಮಂಗಲಂ, ಬಲ್ಲಿ, ಕಾಲಿ, ಬಲ್ಲಿ ವಿವಾಹ ಕಾರಣಸ್ಯ ಗುರುಃ ಪೂಜಿತಸ್ಯ ಕಾಲಿ ಕಲಮಾಲಿನಿ ಕಮಲಾಕ್ಷಿ ಸನ್ನುತಸ್ಯ ವಲ್ಲಭ. In Prachina Sanskritam, ella was not there. But Dakshina Bhasha had ella. Over a period of time, Sanskrita poets borrowed the ella and adopted it in Sanskrit. So in Uttara Bharatam, if you go, they say Mangalam Bhagavan Vishnu, Mangalam GARUDA'S, Mangalam Kundari Saksha. You may be wondering, yake Mangalam helta illa, yakikoskara Mangalam helta idare. Both are correct. Mangalam is also correct, Mangalam is also correct. So she says, Amritam prarthayanasya tatte bhavatu mangalam. I bless you, my son Rama. Though with those two verses that Vinata blessed Garuda. Till now, understandable. What are those two verses? We don't know. The answer to this comes in the Adi Parva of Mahabharatam. Those two verses have been mentioned there. Paksha. Now, these are two important verses. I would request, not the fathers, mothers. You can record this as audio or video on your phone. 100 years back, my Acharya would suggest from commentaries that it was a practice for mothers in Bharata Desham to record the shloka, to utter the shloka when the children leave their houses. Daughter or son, whoever goes, especially in flight. See, everywhere we go, there is a level of uncertainty. Please understand. Whether we'll come back or not. Mothers will always pray for the welfare of their children. Utter these two verses. Pakshaute marutapadu Chandra Suryau cha prishthatah Shirasya padu vanhiste Vasavaha sarvatastanum Aham chate sada putra Shanti swasti parayana Ihasina bhavishyami Swastikare rata sada Arishtam brajapanthanam Putrakaryartha siddhaye. My dear daughter or son, with whatever objective you are going, you will achieve that. Your body will be protected by all these devatas. Pakshaute marutappatu chandrasuryau cha prishthatah shiraschapatu vanhiste vasavaha sarvatastanum ahamchate sadaputra shanti swasti parayana ihasina bhavishyami swastikare rata sada. This is what Vinata blessed her son Garuda with. These two verses that Vinata uttered in the Mahabharata, Adi Parva, was invoked by Valmiki in the Ayodhya Kandam through Kausalya. Look at the connection that Ramayana has with Mahabharata. So, this is the third reference. Now, you told about this guy. What about his family? See, not in one family, not everybody will be equally devoted to Bhagavan. Hiranyakashipu was the son of Kashyapa Prajapati. Kashyapa was a devotee. Son Hiranyakashipu, you know. Hiranyakashipu's son Prahlada was a great devotee. This Prahlada's son had 4 FIRs. His son Bali Chakravarti was a devotee, but he had accumulated disproportionate wealth. So there were some ED cases against him. So in one kutumbam, not everybody will have the same set of traits. But in Garuda's family alone, everybody is devoted to Bhagavan. Kashyapa is the father. Kashyapa through Vinata Devi had 2 sons. One is Aruna, the second is Garuda. Aruna became the charioteer of Surya Narayana. Garuda became the charioteer or the Vahanam to Narayana. Aruna had 2 sons, Jatayu and Sampati. Sampati is the one who told the clueless Hanuman that in south of me, my son Suparshva tells that he spots a lady who has been shedding tears under the shade of the tree. Maybe the lady whom you have been searching must be her. So Suparshva, the son of Sampati, who is the son of Aruda, helps Rama. Jatayu, the other brother to Sampati, is the one who gives up his life in the protection of Sita. So, Kashyapa's 2 sons, Aruna and Garuda, Aruna's 2 sons, Sampati and Jatayu, and Sampati's son Suparshva, the entire family was dedicated to Rama. What is the other greatness there? Here is a very interesting incident. Let's see. In Aranya Kandam, in Kishkindha Kandam, we come across these 2 incidents. Have to connect the both, so you have to pay attention. See, we are not going the linear way. Mudadisa, Rama Janana. Second day, Sita Kalyanam. Third day, Chitrakuta Gamanam. Fourth day, Paduka Pattabhishekam. Fifth day, Jatayu Moksham. Sixth day, Sugriva Pattabhishekam. Seventh, Anguliya Pradhanam. Eighth, Vibhishana Sharanagati. Ninth, Rama Pattabhishekam. Collect your prasadam and go. This is not the linear fashion. We have been taking excerpts here and there. Mix and match is the trend right in fashion. So we are mixing and matching. There is a Paithani on one side, organza on the other. There is a rising border on one side and Arani silk on the other. A Muga silk of Assam with a Banarasi brocade. We are doing all of this on one day. So you have to pay immense attention. Unlike a music concert, because in the middle when the mridangam starts playing, people will go take a short break to the canteen, have two bondas and come. There is no place to get out also, no. Now, in Garuda Charitram, this is mentioned in both Ramayanam and Sri Mahabharatam. To the Nityasuri Garuda in his Vibhavavataram, he was born as the son of Vinata and Kashyapa. This Garuda was huge, mighty. He once went and expressed to his mother, Ma, you've been doing all the household work and you've been doing all the work that your co-sister, your co-wife, your sister come co-wife called as Kadru has been given. Are you a slave to her, Mata? She said, yes, beta. She has made me her slave. Then he went and asked Kadru, Kadruji, tell me how to release my mother from servitude. He said, go fetch Amritam from Amaravati, not Babu's Amaravati. It's an old Amaravati. Go fetch Amritam from there. So Garuda said, okay, Mama. And he told, that is when Vinata said, for my sake you are going, my son. Thereby I will bless you with these two verses. Remember 4.5 minutes back, we were all recording. Now Garuda goes and tells his father, Father, I am sure I will reach that place where Amrita is, but I am extremely hungry. Rameshwaram is not there. Shanti is not there. Kamat is not there. Pavitra is not there. Where will I eat? That is when Kashyapa said, you can eat an elephant and a tortoise. Elephant and a tortoise. This is there in the Ramayana and Mahabharata. First question. Sir, Angadre Garuda non-vegetarian. See, real Garuda will eat snakes. Temple Garuda will eat puliyoga. There is a difference. We keep seeing only temple Garuda. During the Madhyana Puja, they will keep balls of rice to this Garuda. Temple Garuda falls under Agama Shastra. Agama based temples have to serve prasadam, which is the least common denominator, what everybody can consume. So they will serve whatever we have, puliyoga, they will serve it to Garuda. Real Garuda will have only snakes. If you see a real Garuda, I will go in the. So real Garuda will have snakes, but this Garuda was massive, huge. So Kashyapa said there are two animals, one a tortoise and the other elephant, which are fighting, so you eat them up. So Garuda asked, tell me the coordinates where they are. Where they were is mentioned in the Ramayana. I'll tell you where. In Kishkindha Kandam, Kishkindha is current day Karnataka, Hampi region. After Rama had helped Sugriva with the death of Vali and making Sugriva the king, Sugriva had to immediately help Rama by sending his army. But Sugriva said 4 months, heavy rains, if my monkeys, Vanaras go, they will have sinus. So Char Mahina Baad. But that Baad did not come at all. So Rama went, asked Lakshmana to go give a reminder to Sugriva, and Sugriva said, Maaf kar do. And then he dispatched his Vanaras in 4 different directions. One set of Vanaras went in the eastern direction. To those Vanaras, Garuda says, Sugriva says, when you go in the eastern direction, you will see a dweepam. You will see a dweepam, you will see an island which is called a Yavadweepam. He says, it is in the Ramayana, you can go and check. There is a dweepam called Yavadweepam. What is this Yava now comes the problem. 50 years back, the great Acharya of Srikanchi, Paramacharya, he conducted us Veda Sadas. He said there is one style of recitation in Uttara Bharatam, one in Dakshina Bharatam. We have to see if they meet. When all the scholars sat and recited, Paramacharya gave his remarks, concluding remarks that more or less it is the same, barring certain places where in Uttara Bharatam, instead of ya, they will say ja. Jamuna kinare nyare. In Uttara Bharatam, they will say Jamuna. Veerasamire Yamuna Tire. We say Yamuna. Ya, ja, replaceable. So in Vedam, wherever Yasmai comes, Yasmai, they will say Jasmai, Ya, ja, replaceable. In Kishkindha Kandam, he says there is a dweepam called Yava. Now make it Java. Java. So beyond Java, because Indonesia is an archipelago nation, it has over 16 to 17,000 islands as a cluster. So in the westernmost part is Java. As you keep moving, you see Papua New Guinea to that side. And over and above that, he says there are places, O Vanaras, where if you will see a lot of people doing Argyam. Look at the mention there, you will be surprised. When they give Argyam in the afternoon, Vanaras, that time we would have just woken up. This 6-hour gap suggests that he talks about the longitudinal line along Japan and Fiji Islands. So you have to go and search there. Between Papua New Guinea and Java, there is a mention of an island. All that I am saying, you can do a fact check with Ask Perplexity or Grok. Go check. He talks of an island in Kishkindha Kandam where he suggests that once an elephant and a tortoise were fighting and Garuda caught them. Sir, how can Garuda catch an elephant? Because there were certain species called stegletons which were short elephants. They will be this short, like a dog. There will be short tortoises. Garuda will hold each one of them, and there is a museum in the Flores Island of Indonesia today that has the fossils of stegletons, short elephants. So Garuda held the elephant on one claw, the tortoise in the other, and he flew back from that island to Bharatam. Like the transit, if it's Lufthansa, it is Frankfurt, Etihad at Abu Dhabi, Emirates at Dubai. His transit was in Pamban Island near Bharatam. He sat on the branch of a large tree to take rest. Garuda sat. Unable to withstand the weight of Garuda with the elephant and the tortoise, the branch started breaking. When Garuda saw the branch break, he was amazed to see small rishis in the downward direction doing tapas, hanging from the branch of the tree. He thought, if I end up killing them, I will get Brahmahatya Papam. To save them, he held the branch between the mandibles with the rishis who were performing tapas downwards. Those rishis who were like hobbits or lilliputs were called Valakilyas. Now, Garuda flew back to this place. This is what I have told you from Ramayana. Now look at the slides. The next slide that you see is of Garuda who is spreading his wings with the tortoise and elephant at his feet. Can you see that? There's a sculpture. That sculpture is 500 years plus old, found in Indonesia. It is of the Majapahit dynasty. Second, do you see the next slide where Garuda is carrying the tortoise and the elephant in his hands, which are representing his claws, and in his beaks, do you find that branch with the people inverted? Can you see that? There you see Garuda holding a branch, and you see some rishis hanging. They are Valakilyas. Where is this found? This Garuda carrying the elephant and the tortoise with the branch and the rishis is found in a temple in Tirukkurungudi, TVS company, right? Tirukkurungudi, Vengarai Sundaramayangar and Sons. Tirukkurungudi is found near Tirunelveli. This is 600-year-old depiction of 2 inches found on the wall of that Gopuram. Exquisite. Do you see? Next slide depicts 2 paintings. On the left hand side, you see Garuda holding the tortoise and the elephant. Do you see that? This is spotted in the Persian Ramayana of Iran 500 years back. On the right hand side is Garuda holding the elephant and the tortoise, found on one of the walls of Tibet Zongs in China today, that China has taken. So, this Garuda lifting is found. Now, all this finds mention in the Ramayanam. So, Aranya Kandam and Kishkindha Kandam is replete with Garuda Charitram. How did Garuda fly? Vedanta Deshika describes this in his own inimitable style, in a format called Dandakam. Garudam Akhila Veda Nidadhirudham Vishatpida Notkantita Kuntha Vaikuntha Piti Kritas Kandamide Swanidagati Prita Rudra Sukiti Tana Boga Gadopa Gudas Purat Kantaka Brata Veda Vyatha Vepamanat Vijikvari Pakalpa Vishparyamanas Phata Vatika Ratna Rochis Chataradi Nirajitam Kanti Kalloli Nirajitam Jaya Garuda Suparna Darvi Karahar Devadi Pahara Harim Divaukaspati Kshipta Damboli Dhara Kalpodayanal Vinodhyat Chamatkara Daityari Daityat Vajaroha Nirdharitotkarsha Sankarshan Atman Garutman Marutpanchakadisha Satyadi Murtena Kaschit Samaste Punaste Namaha Namaidamajahat Saparyaya Paryaya Niryata Paksha Nilaspala Nodvela Patodi Viki Chapeta Hatagada Patala Bhankara Samkruddha Nagendra Pida Srini Bhava Bhasvanna Kashrena Yechanda Tundaya Nrityak Bhujanga Bruve Vajrine Damshrayatubhyam Adhyatma Vidya Videya Videya Bhavadasya Mapadayeta Dayeta Chame Manuranugata Pakshi Vaktras Purattara Kastava Kaschitra Bhanu Priya Shekhara Strayatamna Strivarga Pavarga Prasudi Paravyoma Dhaman Balatveshi Darpa Jwalad Balakhilya Pratignavatirna Sthiram Tattva Buddhim Param Bhakti Venum Jaganmuna Tande Mukunde Mahananda Dogrin Ahina Antaka, says Vedanta Deshika, describing the flight of Garuda. So Garuda's presence in Balakandam, Ayodhya Kandam, Aranya Kandam, Kishkindha Kandam is described. Sundara Kandam, Hanuman went to Lanka. How is Hanuman going equivalent to Garuda? Because Hanuman was born with the strength of Garuda. 5th Kandam. 6th Kandam, in Yuddha Kandam, there are 3 places during the Yuddha in Lanka that Rama and Lakshmana fainted. The first time when they fainted, it was Garuda who came and helped Rama. Second and third time, Hanuman went and picked up those herbs from Sanjeevani Parvatam. First time when the snakes were winding around Rama and Lakshmana and they were completely lost, Garuda comes, and as Garuda comes, the snakes go away. Then Rama wakes up. He was initially unconscious. Then he asks, "Ab kaun hai?" Garuda, you are asking me? Yes, you. Sir, all these yugas have been carrying you. Nee yaarunu kettukku. Kanne kalaimane kalayila paane utti valayadina. Nyabagam illiya. Why? Because he said, I am a normal human being. आत्मानम मानुषम मन्ये रामम दशरथात्मजम, मैं आप लोगों जैसा ही, मेरा नाम है जी राम, दशरथ नंदन है. देखिए, you all suffer and so do I. I am a normal human being. Whenever Rama is spoken to by anybody, he will always suggest that I am a normal human being. Then how do we know he is Paramatma? There is one occasion when Jatayu is lying close to dead on the ground after his attempt to protect Sita, having lost his wings. He tells Rama, Ravana has taken Sita, but she will come back because she has been lost in the Vinda Muhurtam. There is one particular Muhurtam called the Vinda Muhurtam. It is believed in Shastram that if you lose somebody or something during that period, you will get that back. So Jatayu says, don't worry, she will come back to you because she was lost in the Vinda Muhurta. So if you are planning to lose your phone, lose it during Vinda Muhurta. So she will come back. That is when Rama, what he should have said, Jatayu, I'm really grateful to you for all the efforts that you have taken to protect Sita. I will always remember you. We will call one of the flyovers after you. One of the malls is already called Garuda. He should have said something like that. You know what Rama said? He was lost and he was searching for Sita. He listens to the soliloquy of Jatayu. For a second, Rama says, Gachalokan anuttaman. I grant you moksham, go to moksham. Valmiki immediately recorded. Hey, see, this is out of syllabus. If you keep telling you are a human being, which human has the ability to grant moksham to another person? We see so many dogs and cats lying on the road. Dog. Bhairavamurti. I grant you moksham. That will bark at you. You are unsure whether you will go to moksham or not. You are giving me moksham, that will ask in return. Dogs are all very smart. They will ask you. So the point is, there are occasions in the Ramayana where Rama has gone above the script and proven that he is Paramatma. Akshunya yoga padam agrakyatam jatayum, says Puresha. Tyagaraja Swami says, Mrigamadalama shubha nitilavara jatayu moksha phalada pavamana. Moksha phalada pavamana. So Jatayu has sought and known the greatness of Rama. Now Rama asks Garuda, who are you? Garuda says, it's okay now, you come and embrace me. Garuda goes and embraces Rama. This is found in the Ramayana. Why? Because after fighting such an army, Rama has bruises all over his body. When Garuda hugs, all the bruises disappear. So Garuda has three things. One, he is a Nitya Suri. Second, he can carry heavy objects. Third, his touch can cure us of ailments. I don't never ever subscribe to the fact that this person has plagiarized, the other person has copied. But I do believe that lessons learnt of this civilization have travelled various countries and reached the pen of J.K. Rowling. In the second book called Chamber of Secrets, what does Phoenix the bird do? It rises from the ashes. One, it carries all of them heavy objects and its tears have curing powers. Correct? Where did they get the idea from? I'm not suggesting that she has plagiarized, but such lessons will always travel borders. So Garuda is there throughout. Do we have a lesson of Garuda? Beautiful lesson. Yesterday, if you remember, between 5:25 and 5:35, I was explaining a verse from Kambaramayanam saying, Veyyongoli Tanmeniyil. I spoke about the Tamil poet Kamban. 1,000+ years back, he wrote a beautiful transcreation to the Ramayana comprising 10,348 verses in chaste Tamil. He wanted this to be presented to the assembly of scholars and he went and travelled to Srirangam, a beautiful temple town near Tiruchirappalli or Trichy in Tamil Nadu. He called all the Vaishnavas of Srirangam. Most of the times they may cooperate. They all came. And he presented the Ramayana. They had some objections here and there. Finally, they said, you have written a great work. But they said, don't stop here. This is a grantha that talks about Narayana. We are Vaishnavas, we have accepted. Your work will get the greatest status only if the Dikshitas or Chidambaram accept. So go there. Poor Kambar took all the manuscripts that he had composed all the way to Chidambaram. So he went and had a darshana of both Shiva as Nataraja, of Narayana as Govindaraja. If you've gone to Chidambaram, massive temple, beautiful temple. So he went in the afternoon, he was given the Atithi Sattara, hospitality, by a Dikshita's family. They served him molahore. Tamil, you have to take little pepper, some jeera, you have to do a dry roast of it, then make a coarse powder and take about loads of ghee and curry leaves and very well cooked rice, add some salt and mix it together. It is called as molahore. In Chidambaram, that is the biggest and famous prasadam. Along with that, they will give one delicacy called Katrika Gutsu. That is the combination. It is found on YouTube. You can go and check. So this Dikshita served Kamban and Kamban was extremely happy. Then he said, sir, people told me that your Ramayanam will be accepted only if the 3000 Dikshita families come together. That Dikshita said, in my lifetime, these 3000 have never come together. Where will you bring us together? Kamban was very upset. He thought he didn't have a great following on social media. So he left that place, and in the night while he was about to leave Chidambaram, on its outskirts, in the crematorium, Smashana Bhumi, he saw so many Dikshitas had gotten together. One of them who had assembled amidst the whole lot was the person who had given him Molahore and Katrika Gutsu at 2:45 in the afternoon. He said, hey, come, idhar aao. I saw you in the afternoon. Tum idhar bhi aa gaye? He said, no sir, I saw you all assembled. Incidentally, Kamban, 3000 of us have assembled in Smashana Bhumi. Kamban asked, why? That was Smashana Bhumi. He said, one of the children to the Dikshitas was bitten by a snake with virulent poison. The medical experts have given up the hope that this boy will survive. In a few minutes he will die, so we are here. Kamban said, if you give me the permission, can I recite one pasuram from the Nagapasha Padalam of Kambaramayanam? He sang that verse. In a few minutes, the boy came back to good health, robust health, and lived. So this pasuram is read generally for Nagadoshams. Whenever you have skin-related disorders in your body, you go to a dermatologist, very correct, because Sanatana Dharma believes in science. Alongside, you also need divine intervention. So for skin problems, this is the pasuram. If you want, you can record this as well. பல்லாயிரத்தின் முடியாத பக்கம் அவை வீச வந்து படற்கால் செல்ல நிலத்தின் இருளாதல் செல்ல உடல் நின்ற வாழி சிதறுற்று எல்லா விதத்தும் உணர்வொடு நன்னி அரணே இழைக்கும் உறவோன் வல்லான் ஒரு தன்னிடையே படுத்த வடு ஆன மேரி வடுவும். This is the pasuram that he recited from Kambaramayanam's Nagapasha Padalam, when Garuda was invoked to protect Rama and Lakshmana from the snakes that had bound them, and this saw efficacy. So, flying guide is the fourth rahasya. Garuda is found throughout.